Hey, so I wanted to do a quick video and show you what I'm up to. All you guys have been getting out of me lately is eco-dyed paper kits, and I've got a big art exhibit coming up in September at my local library. They have a wall and a case, and I alternate every other year, and this year I get the case, and it's harder. It's a harder display because there's shelves, and then you can't pin anything to the walls. It's all done with magnets. So I got in over my head at this time in my life. Summertime is already naturally busy because I'm doing a bunch of outside crafts, but then I had this scheduled, and I ended up, time just kept going by and I kept getting less done for it. So now I'm cramming like I always do to be ready. And on top of that, I'm starting a business called Workshops with Corey, and it's going to be a bunch of spiritual and art workshops in my area in Colorado here. And then what I'm doing with that is, for the people who can't come to the workshops who are out of state, I'm going to be putting together ebooks for each workshop and just selling them as a digital product on my website. And I bought the website and I bought the domain name, but I haven't had time to set up the website. I have been so busy. So I just wanted to kind of bring you along. The area where I sew in my house is really dark. Otherwise, I would have done a tutorial on these. These are some little table runners I'm making for the show. And I want to show you real quick what I've got here. And I am going to be working on my lighting in the future because I just want to bring you guys with me for everything I do. So, you may not be interested in everything, but you can just skip over what you don't like and go to the stuff you do like, because I really am. I do a lot of different stuff throughout the year. Okay, so this is the first table runner I made for this show. And it measures 13.5 inches by 51 inches, so a few inches over 4 feet. And all I did for all of these was take a bunch of fabric and cut it into rectangles and squares, and then I sewed them on the top. So here's what I did. I just cut all these pieces and didn't have them at all, and then this will all fray over time up to the stitch mark. And these are, I call them Ragamuffin table runners. So let me zoom you back out and show you what I've got here. Okay, so this is the first one, and here's how it starts. This piece of fabric was a little girl's dress, and it was stained on the top, so I bought it at a garage sale and cut it up and put it on here. This was also from it. These I bought at a little antique store. This is an old dish towel like my grandma used to use all the time. And then I got most of this fabric. I get a lot of my fabric at yard sales and thrift stores. And then I'll cut up curtains, skirts, tops, whatever. And I do buy a lot at Joann's too. So Susan Taylor Brown, she's got a channel on here. Her and I were laughing about fabric, and I told her that I had to cut myself off from going fabric shopping for now because I have such an abundance of it. I am not allowed to buy fabric until I start using up what I've got. So it's just a real patchwork style, and I got, this was a curtain at Goodwill, this squared plaid fabric here, and I got a big curtain of this, and I love it, like a big giant drape of it for like $3. So you can really score if you go over to the curtain and tablecloth area. They have a lot of good stuff over there. So here's the front of this one. I'm gonna show you my next one too, but not yet. Woo! Here's the back. I just took one piece of fabric and sewed it because I had all those sew marks underneath, and I just used a piece of, I had some scrap eyelet lace laying around, and that's what I used on the inside for the inside of to sew everything to initially, and then I just stitched this one to everything, and I don't care. I shook it up between a zigzag and a straight stitch throughout these, and I have a bunch of different stitch marks from all the different fabrics, and I think that that adds to it. So here's this first one, and I wanted to make them double-sided, but I didn't have time. I wanted to do this patchwork all over both sides, and I wanted to do lace and buttons and more embellishments, beaded trims, but I don't have time to pull it all off, so I'm making these a lot more basic than I wanted. But if this inspires you, keep in mind you can totally add buttons and whatever your heart desires to these. So this is the next one I've done. And I've had this fabric forever. Most of this fabric has a lot of cotton in it, and it's very easy to work with. I have this Shimmer Fabric. I'm not sure what this is called, but it is a real tricky fabric to work with. So the more you stick with the cotton-based fabrics, the better off you'll be. Now these are some curtains. This fabric right here, this botanical fabric, I got this. I have some curtains in my house that is this stuff, and I got them at Walmart, the curtains. So I bought the curtains ready-made, but they were too long, so I had to cut them down to fit my windows, and then I just kept the scraps and put them in here. So it's very crazy quilt style, you know, and then I did little pieces of lace on this one. You want to keep in mind that people are going to be putting, you know, centerpieces and candle holders and stuff on here. So with your embellishments, maybe keep your beaded trims to the edges or the ends, and then make sure you place your buttons strategically so that they can put a centerpiece and do a couple, you know, maybe do them on the edges. That's what I would do anyway. But I tried to get all my pieces really flat and straight, and for the most part I succeeded, but I did miss a few. And then this one ended up really Mod Podgy on this end, but I love it, so I left it. I was going to trim it all down, but I decided it looks really cute like that. It totally adds to this ragamuffin look. This is from, I had it on a hanger, so I've got that darn crease right there. And then here's the back side of this one. I used this pink fabric. Now if you're going to do, if you have time to do double-sided, I need to snip that later, then what you would want to do is, I just took a piece of muslin, is my middle fabric for this one. You would want to take two pieces of your center fabric, and then you would want to do all of your collage on one, do all of your collage on the other, and then sandwich them together center to center and sew them together. And then you could even throw a few stitches down the middle if you wanted to. But that is how I would do it. That way you're not sewing the back side on top of this collage here, because you may end up not liking the results. So I would just do them separate and then stitch them together in the end. So there's number 2. I have to make 6 of these, and they are taking a lot longer than I thought they would. Maybe I'm just a slow seamstress, but I really do try to hustle. Here's the 3rd one. And I was, oh, this reminds me, this fabric right here reminds me, the journals, part 4 is coming up. I apologize, you guys. Those journals have taken me forever to get the pages filled and everything done. Part 4 is coming out in the next couple days. I am putting those journals in this show as well. And all I have left to do are the tassels. So I'm going to do the tassels on those and then do a flip through for part 4 so that you can see them all done. I really do apologize for that. I kept adding stuff to my plate. I really like to push myself out of my comfort zone so I can learn new things. But I pushed myself a little too hard this time. So here I am really racing to keep up with what I've done to myself. Anyway, okay, so I had this little muslin trim that I bought at Hobby Lobby, which I would never buy this again. I would just buy the fabric and rip it because it frays so well on its own. It was there and I was there, so it happened. And then I just switched again from zigzag to straight on these little, there's 3 of them in this one. There's 1, 2, and then I did a little one down here, 3. And then I cut each separate butterfly and showcased them on here, and then this really cute dragonfly looking thing up here. So I did a couple big pieces of that, and then I showcased each butterfly, which I thought was fun. And I don't let myself think, you guys. I just cut and get it as quick as I can put on. So this also is backed onto a piece just muslin fabric, and I still have to do the backing to this, but I got this flannel material. That's a Joann's fabric. This gray and brown, this is a quilt fabric from Joann's. I love this stuff. This is outdoor. I said in a different video that this was upholstery fabric. It's actually an outdoor fabric I got at Joann's, and I can't find it anymore. So I don't know if they quit printing it or what. And then of course I put some of that. I just love this little plaid. So here's what the front of this one looks like. They're all a little different in size. They're roughly 4 feet long by 18 inches is what I really aimed for on these. So here's what I'm talking about, the back side. You get all these crazy lines from all the pieces you put in, which is why, you know, it might affect, it could make it really cool looking, and you could save yourself the step of doing it separate, but you've got to be really willing to gamble and roll the dice to do it that way. I'm kind of chicken. I don't know if I would be brave enough for that. So this is what the back side looks like. And then I've got this piece of fabric that I'm going to make the backing for this. And this piece of fabric, you always want your, if you're going to do just a solid piece on the back, you want it a little bigger than your front, okay, just to make life easier. And I don't have it laid out very well, but it is a little bigger. So here's what's going on with me. And what I'm going to do is get everything done, and then I will do videos of all the stuff going in the show so that you guys get to see it and get hopefully inspired to make some of your own stuff. And then we can move on from there to do goodness knows what after that. But thanks for coming along my wild ADD art ride with me. I really am all over the place, but I love that because I end up getting a lot of different experiences, and isn't that what it's all about? Just having fun with all different kinds of stuff. So here's what I'm up to. These pieces here, I got these like big long window frames, and they're really, really light. They're going to be part of my art display. And the idea is I've got twine tied across the top and on the top of the top and the bottom row of panes, if you can see it. And the idea is to do, I'm going to do a different little work of paper art for each section. I was thinking about doing fabric, but now I'm running out of time. So this is also going to go in, and I just put that in to show you a display of an idea of how it's going to be with the clothespins, and then the art coming off the clothespins like that. Another thing that's going to be really fun about these frames is the way I'm doing it with the clothespins. Whoever buys this is going to be able to move the art around, or they could even make their own art and put it in. So the possibilities are endless with these little frames. I actually got them at a home improvement Goodwill store, and I haven't ever seen them before, and I haven't seen them since, so I felt like I really scored. And when I get all 4 of these done, I will definitely take pictures and show you guys how they all came out. Here's another piece I have going in. This is a big it's actually a 2-foot by 4-foot canvas, and it's very raw. This is just the background right now, and it's going to actually go the other way. It's going to go vertically with big blossoms on it, and it's all going to be a blue and brown and cream painting, so I'll show you that when I'm done too. I will get the journal video part 4 out next, and then I will start doing all the finished stuff for the show, okay? I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks so much for stopping by. Have a great day.